Hello everyone and welcome to Unit 9. This is Lesson 1. I hope you like it. Today we are going to talk about our planet Earth. I think it's very happy now since the coronavirus. There is no corruption and now it's just breathing. I hope that you will stay safe at home. We are going to talk about animal habitats, learn about food chains in this lesson. Okay, so prepare your books at pages 126-27 and your learners on 100 and 101. I hope by the end of this lesson that you will be able to listen for information, listen and take notes, speak about animals and their habitats, and read about food chains, interpret diagrams of flowcharts, and we are going to take some critical thinking and vocabulary. What is your region like? Describe your region in as much detail as possible. For example, you can speak about the weather, the vegetation, the animals, plants, and so on. What animals do you like? What are your animals like? Take your time answering these questions and then tell me what you think we can learn from these animals. Now we go to your learner's book, page 126. Look at the photographs of different habitats. This is a talking time and I want you to look at the pictures first before you answer anything. Do you live near any of these habitats? What do you think the weather might be like in these places? Take your time and speak just to prepare yourself for the next animals. Here we are going to take some animals and then we are going to go with the habitats.
Horned viper snake. Horned viper snake. Horned viper snake.
Antelope. Antelope. Antelope.
Elephant seal, elephant seal, elephant seal. African dwarf frog, African dwarf frog, African dwarf frog.
Golden eagle. Golden eagle. Golden eagle. Stick insect. Stick insect. Stick insect. Clownfish. 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 Forest. Forest. Forest.
Antarctic. 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 Freshwater. Freshwater. Freshwater.
Savannah, savannah, savannah. Mountain, mountain, mountain.
Ocean. Ocean. Ocean.
Desert, desert, desert.
And now I cared very much to search for every word to find a picture for a moving one, by the way, just for you, because I see that these pictures maybe they are very small, you may not can recognize all of them, so I just tried to help, especially these in level C and B. So I hope that these were very helpful to you. If not, can go back, stop the video and go back and watch them again until you know every animal and habitat of them. Now, because you are going to match those animals with the habitats, and of course we are ready now to start with one. The horned viper is gonna be with the desert. How about number 2, the stick insect? Yes, the forest. How about number 3, the elephant seal? Yes, Antarctic. How about number 4, clownfish? Yes, with the ocean. How about number 5, the African dwarf frog, the freshwater, and the golden eagle with the mountain, and the antelope with the savannah. Okay, now you are going to listen and check your answers to this activity as we answer them.
Track 51.
1.
This is a reptile called a horned viper snake. It lives in the Sahara Desert in Africa, where it's very dry and hot. It likes to bury itself in the sand, where it waits for its prey. Lizards and birds are its favorites.
2.
The stick insect looks like the twigs and branches of the trees it lives on. It lives in forests all over the world and likes to eat the leaves of the trees. It's nocturnal, so it spends most of the day keeping very still, hidden in plants and trees, so birds don't see it and eat it. It eats leaves and other small bugs.
3. The elephant seal is an aquatic mammal that lives in the Antarctic. It is extremely cold, but the elephant seal has a lot of fat on its body to help to keep it warm. It spends most of its time hunting fish, octopus and squid under the water. 4. A clownfish lives in the Indian and Pacific Oceans where the sea is warm. It's called a clownfish because it's very colourful and active. It eats algae, which are small plants, and small fish, and it lives around anemones, which help protect it from predators. 5.
This amphibian is called an African dwarf frog. It lives in freshwater rivers and ponds in Africa where it is cool. It's called a dwarf frog because it's so tiny. It eats bloodworms and water fleas and spends most of its time underwater.
6. This bird lives in the Swiss mountain ranges. It's a golden eagle, one of the largest birds of prey. It's used to living in cold conditions, and it makes its nest high up in the mountain rocks. It eats hares, foxes, and birds which live on the ground. 7.
This animal lives in the African savanna, where it is hot all year round. It's a medium-sized mammal called an antelope, and it likes to eat a lot of grass. It has horns to protect itself from predators, such as lions and hyenas.
And now, after you listen to everything and really too much information about these animals and their habitats, can you add more animals to the different habitats? Type of animal, its name, habitat, what it eats. If you need to listen again, you can go back and listen and then continue watching the video. And now we are back.
Track 51.
1.
This is a reptile.
So now we are gonna talk, because talking time, it's very important for me, because I want you to talk about whatever the lesson is about. I want you to learn how to speak, how to express your opinion. Look at the food chain below. Can you explain it? For reading, because you need reading here, you are going to use the text to help you understand the diagram and flowcharts. Let's go to it. Now, we are going to read the text and check your answers to activity 5. Take your time reading silently and come back to me. Now you are going to read again, but no, you are gonna listen and hold your pencil. You're gonna work word by word. You're gonna follow.
A food chain shows us how living things get their food, who eats who. A food chain always starts with a plant, which is called a producer because it makes its own food from the energy it gets from the sun. Consumers are the next link, and there are usually 3 levels. The first group are primary consumers, herbivores such as a rabbit or a mouse which only eat plants. The second group are secondary consumers, which are carnivores. They eat the primary consumers. A tertiary consumer is usually a larger animal which eats the smaller animal. There are also consumers called omnivores which eat plants and meat, and they can be secondary or tertiary consumers. Can you think of an example of one? Yes, humans, of course.
Of course, a human who eats who. Okay, so now I hope you understand what's happening in this text. This pyramid is called energy pyramid. If you look down there in the base, you will see that produces mostly plants, you know. And if you go up, you will have this layer of primary consumers. Consumers are the ones who eat or consume the plants. The rabbits, they eat the plants, so they are consumers. But because some other animals eat them, so they are just primary. So the secondary consumers, for example, the snakes, they eat the hairs. Why we call them secondary, not main ones? Or because there are another one which can eat them, the tertiary consumers. So if you look here that everyone is eating the other, we have 3 consumers and 1 producer. Here we are going to have an exercise for this, another chain. Here you have the herbs or the plants, you have got the snake, this is number 1, and you've got the mouse. How the chain is going to be? Do you think the mouse is going to eat the snake? Do you think the plant is going to eat the snake? No way. So there is a chain. It starts with the grass. Grass is eaten by the mouse, and the mouse is eaten by the snake. So grass is a producer, and the mouse is a consumer, primary one, and the snake is a secondary consumer. But alright, let's go to number 2. Think about number 2 and 3. Back. In number 2, the algae here is the producer, and the clownfish eats it, and the shark eats the clownfish, and so on. We go with the grass and the line. I believe now that you can make your own chain. But before that, let's go to the activity book, page 100, and look at the pictures. Write herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. A. What do you think A is? Yes, it's a bird. It's omnivore. How about B? B is a squirrel. It's herbivore. How about C? It's the owl. It's carnivore. And the snail? Yes, it's herbivore. Herb means that the grass or plant they eat. And the fox and the rabbit and the mouse. If you concentrate here, you can make your own chains. I'm waiting for this. I've just answered all these for you because you are going to answer some more. Look at the picture again and match the words. Plant. The plant, is it tertiary consumers or secondary or producer or primary? Yes, it's a producer. The mouse is a primary consumer. You are going to answer 3 and 4. Choose one of the habitats from activity 2. Draw a diagram of a food chain. Label each part with the words in blue from the text. These are the habitats and animals you've seen. Okay, label them. Producer, which one of them? The primary and secondary or tertiary consumer. Draw a food chain in your notebook using the animals from the picture in activity 1. Use the examples in activity 6. On page 127, of the learner's book to help you. This one. Also, you are going to label them the same producer, primary, secondary, or tertiary. Marine life. Okay, the marine life is food that's produced by the sea.
Plankton, plankton, plankton. Sea urchin, sea urchin, sea urchins.
Jellyfish, jellyfish, jellyfish. Starfish, starfish, starfish. Minnows, minnows, minnows. Tuna, tuna, tuna. Shark, shark, shark.
Whale, whale, whale.
Now, look at this food chain. What do you think eats what? I want you to concentrate here. It's not a problem. Just look here, the plankton at the left, and there is an arrow to the sea urchins, the jellyfish, starfish, and there an arrow to the small fish, and then the tuna and the shark. What do you think eats what? Do you think the plankton eats the shark? What do you think about that? Try to use your mind here. This is another the same picture, but it's just from the this is from the National Geographic. Yes. Here you have the one cell life and the shrimp-like creatures. They are all eaten by the small fish, and the small fish is eaten by bigger fish, and then we have the sharks eat all of them. What I want to say is there are a chain for food. Now, with interpreting diagrams, as we have just seen, what are the strategies that will help you interpret, explain, understand the diagrams? Which one of the three? Take your time. Yes, use your previous knowledge to help you. That's why I asked you. Use reading text to help you understand the diagram. And here is the text. Read the text, label the food chain with the words and bold from the text. Here I just brought to you all the words that you need. So I need you just now to read. Take your time, read, and then continue the video. Back. We are going to read again, but while reading you are going to listen to the text, because I want you to learn how to read.
Exercise 4. Read the text. Label the ocean food chain with the words in bold from the text. The ocean food chain. Let's find out what eats what in the ocean. As with any food chain, the marine food chain begins with plants, such as plankton, a powerful food full of vitamins, proteins and minerals. They are producers because they make their own food using energy from the sun. The next link are small floating animals, such as jellyfish and starfish, which eat the plankton. They are called primary consumers. The third link in the chain are small fish that are very common in the ocean, such as minnows, which eat the small floating animals. They are called secondary consumers. Finally, the tertiary consumers are the large fish, such as tuna or small sharks, which eat the smaller ones. It's a fish eat fish world.
It's a fish eat fish world. So now we are back again. I've used this picture before just to activate your mind more. This is a real activity. Alright, so now can you answer this? A. What's A?
Exercise 4. Read the text. Label the ocean food chain with the words in bold from the text. The ocean food chain. Let's find out what eats what in the ocean. As with
Produces.
any food chain, the marine food chain begins with plants, such
You're going to go back and listen yourself and answer the other two. Extra material. More practice. Do you need them? Yes. Draw a food chain in your notebook for one of these habitats. If you want something to help you, look at this picture. It's very easy. Look here. You have the plants. They can be eaten by the hare or the rabbit or by the insect. The rabbit can be eaten by a fox or the snake. The insect also can be eaten by a snake or the spider. The spider can be eaten by the eagle or that bird, the owl, okay, or so on. So if you look here that there is a chain of food, I want you to make a project to research about this using the internet. Take your time. I want you to learn scientific research, and you can scan this QR code to help you find a site that will help you very much with the food chain. And I believe that this is going to help you to understand the chain, how it starts and how it ends. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be with you.